Go sit down. Come play with your phone. Come on. Last night, I took my son to see Avatar, the new one, and we went for dinner beforehand. I brought a deck of tarot cards and asked if he would shuffle them for me, and then pulled 3 cards, 4 cards. And it was crazy. Those 4 cards literally detailed the last year of our life. And wow, it's been a year. It really has. It's been full of shifting thoughts and beliefs and experiences, and that never ends. Throughout our entire existence, we just kind of repeat through these cycles, and we also experience life through different aspects. There are times when we may be the party animal and no one can keep us home. And there are times when no one can get us out of the house because we just want to be in our own space, doing our own thing, and the world can handle itself, right? There are times when we are heavy on the learning, and it seems like every day all we do is be told something, taught something, absorbing information at all times. And then there are periods of life where we're on cruise control. We know exactly what we're doing, where we're going, who we are, and those times feel so nice. But how often do we really experience them? Maybe not too often, but that's not the point of life. The point of life is not to be the epitome of humanity. The point of life is to cycle through all of the different levels of humanity, like those are 9 circles of hell. The point being, we experience that here on earth. The awfulness of our experience is really only known to ourselves and anyone we choose to tell. However, it is good to reflect and to learn about our experience and to recognize cycles that we go through. And so that's why I like pulling tarot cards. It reminds me of where I've been, where I'm going, and what it's going to take for me to get there, right? Now, it's not like it tells me actual details. It's not that specific, but it does really help me understand where my focus should be. My dog has a very loud toy. So I also wanted to have my son pull some cards. So I shuffled the deck and I asked him if he believed in the cards, and he was just kind of like, real non-committal. And that's fine with me, 100% fine. I asked him if he believed in anything, and he said yes. He believes in God. My dog's just killing himself with this chew toy over here. So I'm happy with that. As long as my son has some type of spiritual connection, I'm okay with that. As long as he recognizes that he's not the end-all, be-all. Good. I'm not concerned about him being attached to the tarot, but I was just curious what he would pull, and it fascinated me. So a masculine energy card and a feminine energy card, and wow, they began and ended the reading, and then in the middle, he had one of the cards that I pulled that referenced our big move this year, and another card that was specifically for him. Wow. He doesn't have to believe in it. It just speaks to me. And what it says to me is that no matter who I am today, who I was yesterday still matters. The image of the yesteryear has already been created, and that's perhaps the perception that's on the outside. And so as I evolve and change, I need to continue projecting that on the outside to clear away those stagnant memories, right? As we change, we cannot anticipate that other people are just going to know we're different. We have to show we're different. Otherwise, we're still changing. And that's okay. We're always going to be changing. That's the point of humanity as well. Once we are done, we're dust. There's nothing left to be at that point except a sack of bones. Once we stop learning and stop shifting and stop evolving, we become stagnant. And whatever is stagnant grows shit that does not belong. Shit that festers. So typically when I pull cards, unless the cards really jump out of the pile, I pull 4. 1 for the past, 1 for the present, 1 for the future, and 1 for my attitude. Typically when I pull archetype cards, I only pull 1. But today I'm pulling 4. And the reason is because I pull 4 cards, not because I'm telling the cards what to do, but because I'm confirming that the universe and I are communing, right? And I'm not testing the universe. I'm just making sure that we're all on the same wavelength by pulling 4 cards. Typically, like I said, I just pull 1 archetype, but today I wanted to pull 4 because, again, it's just resonating in my mind that we shift through cycles throughout life, including through archetypes, and there's probably a lesson in the archetypes, just like there's a lesson in the tarot. The tarot covers a broader topic. So if we're looking at the archetypes and can notice cycles that we've been through in life, maybe notice where we've been a little bit more stuck in one archetype, in expressing negative versus the positive, or the dark versus the light aspects of that archetype. It's just good to bring awareness to that space, because again, we know what we know. We don't know what we don't know until we know, until we notice. And once we notice and understand and recognize how those patterns affect ourselves and other people on the big picture level, we are not going to be motivated to do anything about it. So we might think better, but we're not going to act better. We can end up becoming really judgmental in that space. The first card we pulled is the Offering. This also gives you a chance to check out Nails by EMME. I did these poly gels when I was recovering from an injury on the couch for a couple days. We also pulled the Heart. Next is the Shapeshifter. I am excited to read that one. Last card is the Mentor. So again, we have past, present, and future. And then the deep aspect of myself, who I am. And this is just making me chuckle a little bit because I was just talking about being a teacher earlier. All right, so let's look at the Offering first. As you may have guessed, it is time for something to be given and given up. for the sake of the bigger picture. Once a week, Gandhi gave up speaking for a day, offering himself to divine silence. The offering can come in all shapes and sizes. I love that. One of the things that I experienced in religion is this idea that an offering is financial and that it's 10% of your net worth. And that's just some bullshit. I just need to put that out there. But the fact that it's our time, it's our ability to sacrifice a certain way of living to be able to be present for this moment. And I don't mean like sacrifice luxuries or sacrifice financially. I don't mean that way. I mean, here, give up speaking for a day. What a sacrifice that is, quite literally. I know it would be for me. A big part of the reason why I've never applied to a Vipassana retreat is because silence might kill me. And just by saying that, like, I know I need to go. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. This is a beautiful card talking about the layers and complexity of life and the fact that we can get distracted so easily by entertainment, by our work, by our friends, by social pressures. There's so many ways in which we can get distracted from the desire of our heart because we feel pressured in our heart. I've been through that. I'm in that constantly. So yeah, I understand why that's my present card. This is very fitting for me because I definitely have lived the experience of picking up other people's accents when I spend too much time around them, picking up their phrases, picking up their beliefs, picking up their ideas. Man, I am really good at mirroring. In TikTok speak, we call this masking. For that whole TikTok community of mental health warriors, I see you, I love you, I am you, and man, let me tell you, so much of my masking had to do with wanting to be accepted and constantly feeling rejected. So I thought that if I was just like somebody, then they would love me. And so I would just try to continually, and it wasn't even mental, like it wasn't even something that I thought about. I rarely would notice it until after, like until it became embarrassing. When the person noticed and I was like, oh shit, they think I'm trying to be them. And I was, but not intentionally, which is just so crazy to me. And here we go, the mentor. I'm not going to say that I'm totally done with that shapeshifter either, because I know that I'm not. It's, again, something that is so subconscious for me and was so subconscious for so long that I know it's going to take me time to really feel confident in releasing that archetype. And I don't think that archetype is necessarily a bad thing either, because again, it can be very positive to mirror positive aspects of a person right back to them. That's not a bad thing. Show people what they do well. Engage with them in that activity or in that behavior, and therefore elevate and expand that experience for both of you. This says that the mentor may appear aloof or available, harsh or tender, humorous or rigid. Their gift is to know what serves the soul. Ultimately, the mentor is in service of the greater cosmic good and aids in the elevation of consciousness. When I started out doing personal training, and even now, I have some fear and trepidation about what I'm doing because it's not really my primary field. And I've been in my primary field so focused for so long that I was afraid I wouldn't be able to pull out of that. Not that I need to, because they are pretty closely linked. But the fact of the matter is, I was talking to one of my girlfriends about this, and she reminded me that I already am a teacher. That's what I do. And I don't do that on purpose. I do that because that's my gift. I teach every day by example. I teach by leading. And sometimes it's hard for me to say these things because I might not really truly believe them about myself. I feel like I'm still learning to step into this role, and I'm already 33, and like, shouldn't I be farther along by now? But at the same time, I'm so grateful for where I am. I don't want to rush things. If my future is the shapeshifter and I am a mentor, and right now I'm stuck in my heart, and the past I was stuck in offerings, dark side, and codependency, and I'm just now learning interdependence. You know, y'all, I have a lot of work to do. I got a lot of work to do, a lot, and I'm here for it. I'm so here for it. I hope you're here for it too. I love you. Go love on yourself today. Thanks for putting up with my puppy loving on his gums, chewing this bone like a crazy dog.